Hi campers, welcome to Happy Camper Tarot. So today's reading is what does my inner child need in order to feel happy and safe? Okay, we've got 3 piles. That's group 1, group 2 and group 3. Take a moment to pick your pile. I'm going to go straight into it. You can pause the video right now if you need more time to pick. So that's group 1, group 2 and group 3. I'm gonna start with group 1. Okay, let's see group 1. Here's the current energy of your inner child, Judgment. And these are the advice cards. Okay. Well, what I'm getting is your inner child is sort of clouded by a lot of past judgments, maybe critical parent voice, because I'm just hearing I'm not reading it as like a traditional Rider-Waite tarot at the moment. Can you see the trumpet? And I'm just seeing your inner child being surrounded by criticism from the past, because judgment, you think about judgmental, critical comments. So it could be the parents. Can you see the couple here and then their child? And and he's surrounded by all those voices. So it's like your inner child is sort of drowned by the past criticisms, and mostly from a critical parent, I'm getting. And also you can see they climbing out of their sort of the coffin in a way. It's like these are phantom voice, ghostly voice. So maybe you might not living with your parents, or maybe even that critical parent have already passed. Could be a likelihood, but the inner child is still pretty much living in the past, hearing their criticisms. Yeah, it's like very haunting by the past voices. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Yeah, so sort of trapped by that, and so advice. The advice I'm getting is to actually be with that inner child. Like, let yourself sort of, because I'm getting the surrender card. Okay, surrender. And I'm sensing is to let yourself feel those feelings, the past, shame and blame, anger, not to fight it. That's what I'm getting. It's like lay down your sword, and lay down those like even just ideas, sort of just like drop from your head to your heart. That's what your inner child need. They don't need you to fight with the voices in your head. That's what I'm getting. You don't need to fight with the critical parent voice. You don't need to start argument with them. Your inner child doesn't need you to defend them. So you don't need to fight with the voices they heard, likely from the past, from a caregiver. They don't need that. That's what I'm getting. What they need is for you to be brave enough to actually surrender and be with them. Sort of I'm getting is like you're sinking down from your head, right? Fighting with that voice like you're wrong, that's not loving, I don't need to hear that. So not fighting with that, and just let yourself sink down to your heart space and feel the hurt, the pain, and the grief and the loss of your inner child growing up from that environment that is still haunting them. They just need you to acknowledge their pain and feel it with them, okay? They don't need you to defend them. That's what I'm getting. They just want you to feel it with them, and then they can move forward. That helps them to feel safer with you, and they're likely to trust you more, instead of you starting a fight in your head with the critical parents, if that makes sense. I hope this reading helped in some way. Yeah, like they don't want you to fight with them. They sort of just want you to feel in your heart those feelings, those hard feelings. Yeah, they don't need, I'm also getting they don't need you to free them. Because Eight of Swords as a advice guide, almost like they want you to sort of trap with them in the past. Not to trap you, but to feel those feelings, to release them. Does that make sense? So you feel them to heal it. Feel it to heal it. So they don't need you to save them. They don't want you to save them. Does that make sense? Like they don't want you to come in like a shining knight to save them from their misery or from their perception, from their past critical voices. They just want you to trap here with them and be with them, just to feel it. And then, you know, once those feelings are felt and are past, then, you know, they move on to a different, it's a progress, right? Then they're not in that space. So in order to free them is to be with them, feel those feelings with them. Essentially, they don't want you to get them out. They want you to come into this space. Can you see all this Eight of Swords? They can leave if they want, but they want you to be with them and feel the pain, the confusion, the grief, all those feelings with them. Okay? So good luck, group 1, a little bit heavy. Yeah, surrender. You can actually call upon your guide, your higher power, to be with you while you're feeling those feelings. You know, holding your hands, holding the both of you, the adult and the inner child together, to feel through those feelings. Okay, don't forget to call upon your higher power, God, whatever you like to call it. Archangel Chamuel is also pretty good, and Archangel Michael, to just feel those feelings together if it's overwhelming for you, okay? But your inner child just want your presence, want you to be there for them. Okay, that's it. It's a bit lengthy, sorry about that. I went a bit, sort of ramble a little bit. Thank you, group 1, for tuning into the reading. I'm moving on to group 2. Group 2, this is your current energy. Wow, beautiful. And this is the advice. Very different energy from group 1. Group 2, your inner child is already feeling happy. They're feeling, yeah, your inner child is feeling happy, secure, stable already. Look, they feel secure, stable and loved, surrounded by a beautiful community. That's very lovely. And Six of Cups, that's an advice card. And the Change card. Maybe some of your inner child want you to connect with old friends. They want to, some of them they're having fun, yes, they're feeling actually secure, stable in life and happy, but they kind of want you to visit the past. They want you to connect with an old friend or a family member. And yeah, an old friend or a family member, someone from the past. They want to connect for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, likely someone from your past. They want to reconnect a friendship or a family connection. Maybe changes in that connection as well. Another one is yeah, it's like I'm drawing to sort of pink and blue color in this car. So I'm sort of getting like, it's a little bit nostalgic actually. They kind of want to connect with someone from the past. Even though they're having a lot of fun right now and happy and secure. And also I'm hearing they might want some new things that changes, right? So I feel like they're already quite secure, stable and settled down into routine, but they might like a little bit of change in the scenery, in your routine, daily routine. That's another message. Yeah, I'm getting newness, a little bit fresher energy, something new, maybe in your daily routine, or take up something new. That I'm getting. I hope that's helpful in some way. But yeah, your inner child is looking quite vibrant and happy. Looks like you have a good connection with them. I'm hearing new. They want to learn something new or do something new, try something new. Okay, and also connect with an old friend or an old family member. Okay, that's it for group 2. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please like and subscribe if it helps in some way. Thank you again for tuning in. Moving on to group 3. This is the current energy of your inner child. That's a very adventurous spirit. And here is the guidance. Wow. Sorry about the noise. Current energy. Well, your inner child is feeling quite free-spirited. Is feeling adventurous, free-spirited, very fresh energy. And the guidance, okay, this is interesting because this looks so happy to me, so I wouldn't think there would be more healings needed, but there is more healing needed apparently. So for your inner child to feel safe and happy, I'm getting, well, inception in this card is about sort of past childhood story, sort of trapped in a way, and the star card, combine them together, I'm getting some healing. There is some childhood healings needed to be done, so you might need to visit the past and heal. I'm getting to liberate yourself from the past. I'm getting drawn to this bird. I've never noticed there's a bird in the star card before, but there's a bird there. So it's like it's being trapped by something. Likely a perception that you form from a childhood experience, and your inner child wants you to free them from that. Oh, you know what else I'm getting? Wow. The Fool card. You might have trouble with taking responsibility. Sorry to say that, but and that inability to sort of be tied down with something, be just that huge fear of being tied down by responsibility. Like, it's almost like having a routine, having any sort of commitment is very hard for you, for your inner child, because the Fool got the current energy, and that might make it harder to have a healthy relationship or hold down, a job for a long period of time. And that pattern stems from the past. That's what I'm getting. And you need to free that perception of, healthy responsibility doesn't equate to entrapment. Disciplined action and routine, taking responsibility is not a prison. Yeah, there's a fear of being trapped, being tied down. So yeah, you do have some, I guess, childhood stuff to work through. Yeah, you need to. I'm getting. It's kind of like a mental sort of mind work, not to your heart. This one is very different to group 1. Group 3, it's more about asking yourself the right question and getting to your root core idea of what responsibility meant for you, and get into that fear. Like, maybe you can ask, like, why am I afraid of responsibility? Why am I afraid of staying in a place for longer than 3 months? Why am I afraid of commitment? What would it mean to you? What would it mean for me if I stay in this place longer than 3 months? If I stay in this job for longer than 3 months? If I stay in this connection for longer than 3 months? I'm getting 3 months. You can also put it like 6 months. Depends on your individual situation. And then get into the root fear and idea about that, so that can free you from this pattern, I'm getting. And because this is almost like a surface level, facade level of joy, is that I have not a care in the world. But it's not. It stem from trauma in some way. So I'm also getting like financial instability, because now I'm drawn to the clothes that this guy's wearing, this figure's wearing. There's a lot of holes. So yeah, so that creates some financial instability as well with this pattern. So in order for your inner child to feel safe and secure and happy, actually they need that structure in life. Yeah, so have a talk with your inner child, have a talk with yourself, ask those right questions to liberate your mind and that sort of ideas that you formed in the past. Yeah, I'm getting a dismantle of the past beliefs and ideas. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in to today's reading. I hope it is helpful for you in some way. Like and subscribe if it resonated. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. See you guys next time.